everyone, I'm Denise.
And I'm Georgie.
And we're the Happy Vegan Couple. We got another cooking video for you with those step-by-step instructions. So those of you who are new to cooking, you will learn everything you need to know. What are you going to make, Georgie?
I'm going to make my special tofu scramble.
And this is the tofu we use. I'm just showing it to you because it's a very dense tofu. It's not that mushy, soft stuff, not that silken tofu. This is an extra firm tofu. If you have a Trader Joe's in your community, that's where we buy it. You don't even have to drain the water out of it. It's like really dense and you can just open it up and cut it. So we enjoy it. So let me just tell you one thing about Georgie's version of tofu scramble. One of the reasons I love it is because he puts in lots of vegetables. It's not just some tofu to mimic the scrambled eggs, but we put in lots of heart-healthy ingredients. And if any of you know the acronym that Dr. Joel Fuhrman coined for G-bombs, because he says if you eat your G-bombs every day, you're going to eat the healthiest foods every day that there is. So let's just remember what those G-bombs are, because we have them in our tofu scramble, at least 4 of them. G for
greens.
Right, and then B for beans, because we have tofu, and then we're going to even plate it up with some other beans, so 2 kinds of beans. And then we have O for onions.
And we have 2 types of onions in this. It's the red onions and the green onions.
Yay! And then we have M for mushrooms. And what we're missing are the last 2. There's another B for berries and an S for nuts and seeds. But you know what you could do? Plate up your tofu scramble and then serve it with a wonderful green smoothie where you have even more greens and you throw in some flax seeds and some berries.
Yep.
And you've hit all the G-bombs just in that one meal. How great is that? You can eat this whenever you want. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, take it with you. Georgie's going to show you how to make it up into a nice little burrito as well.
Yep.
Or you could just plate it up on your for your table. So I'm excited to share this. I know there's many kinds of versions, but we love the one that Georgie, and maybe you'll enjoy it too. So you ready to get going?
I'm ready.
All right, tofu scramble, Georgie style. Here we go.
Okay. Okay, everyone, let's get started on my tofu scramble. This is our tofu that we showed you earlier in the beginning. I only used half of the brick right here. I'll show you how I cut it up in a second. Our next ingredient will be vegetable broth from Trader Joe's. It's a low sodium, which is really good for us. Turmeric, chili powder, garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper and salt. Come over to my vegetables. First one we got is a nice beautiful red bell pepper, red onion, mushrooms, a zucchini, a medium-sized zucchini, some kale, and then green onions and cilantro for our garnish. So what I'd like to do first is mix up my seasonings that I'm going to be doing my tofu in. So what I'm going to do is use half of this vegetable broth that I have. Then I'm going to add all of my seasonings to that. Turmeric, chili powder, garlic powder, onion powder, the salt and pepper. And I do say I use a mild chili pepper, red chili pepper for this. Don't want to use too hot. Denise doesn't like hot stuff. So I mix this up, and then I'm just going to set it aside for now. Then I'm going to show you how I cut my vegetable. Well, let's see. We'll go with the tofu first. Come on up here and I'll show you. I'm going to do 1/4-inch cubes. Stack that on top. I wiggle it back and forth and it comes right on out.
And we like this tofu. You don't have to get the water out of it. Easy to work with. We like that dense taste rather than the soft mushy.
That's the tofu. Now you can crumble this up if you'd like, that kind of a texture. We seem to like this better because you don't have all the little crumbs. My next thing will be my red bell pepper. First thing I do is I cut the end of it off. There's the little thing. Then I reach inside and I twist, I give it a twist, and it separates from the bell pepper itself. Then I just kind of go down the side like that to get rid of these ribs that are inside. You don't have to get rid of these, I just prefer them out. Looks pretty with all
That is such a deep red pepper.
Really, I can't believe it. Okay. Then I'm just going to do some slicing.
We were trying to grow red pepper in our garden this summer, but the Tucson heat this summer might have just been a little too hot. Got up to 110 and hottest summer in Tucson ever, we were told.
Now you can take your red bell pepper, and you can chop it in little cubes if you'd like to. They don't have to be slices like I'm doing here. Just cut that in half because we're pretty long. Okay, there's our bell pepper. Next is our red onion. First thing you're going to do is cut the ends off. And then take and go inside the skin just very lightly. You don't want to go too far because you split it apart. And you just take and you pull this part where you split it right off like that. Because the outside skin is very tough, so we'll go ahead and take one more layer off. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it in half. And what I want is I guess you would call half circles, half moons, just like that.
And of course, we could use a yellow onion.
Sure.
But we decided to use red because the color gives us actually more antioxidants.
That's the shape you want.
More antioxidants than a yellow onion. And since antioxidants can take out potential cancer cells, why not get as many as you can?
And you just twist them like that, they fall apart. Next will be my mushrooms. Now, if you don't care to eat the stem of the mushroom, you can take it out. It's easy to take out. There's no reason to not use these. They're really good for you. You can cut them this way, or with the stem.
And those are crimini mushrooms.
No, these are baby bellas.
I thought those were the same thing.
Are they the same?
I think they are.
Okay.
But of course, you could use white mushrooms or
Sure.
another type if you enjoy them.
Okay, there's my mushrooms. Zucchini, cut the ends off. And I'm going to want to cube this because I don't want big chunks. So this is the way I cube.
And look how fast this goes when you are experienced with cutting. And if you're new to eating this way, maybe you're not so used to cutting vegetables, but within a short amount of time, you'll probably get very experienced and you'll be able to do it quickly as well.
The main thing you want to do is always keep your fingers over here. Don't have your fingers here when you're chopping. You want them always protected with your fingernail. Your fingernail will protect your fingers. I've learned by experience. I've had quite a few cuts on my fingers. Okay, there's my zucchini. This zucchini was actually a little bit bigger than I would have used, but that's what I got. Okay, our kale. washed and cleaned off already, you grab the bottom of the stem and pull. Put your finger around it and just pull it. This is very tough, so we'll just set that aside. Maybe use that later. I like to kind of roll my kale like this. It breaks the fibers down. And then just slice.
And of
They
course,
call it massaging. Just an easier way to massage your kale. Okay, there's one. The other one, same thing.
and of course, Georgie, you know from the kale, we're going to get a nice dose of nitrites that are going to become, through chemical changes in our body, nitric oxide, which will help dilate blood vessels and give us better heart health. So that's why we want to eat our green leafies and our cruciferous vegetables.
Okay, next step is our garlic. I use a cheese grater on the smaller side to cut it up. First thing I do is cut the ends off.
And garlic is really healthy, and so if you like garlic, put in as much as you want. You know, these seasonings could all be adjusted for personal preference.
Exactly.
And you
Now
can
what
even change them up.
What I did with my recipe is I used the garlic powder and garlic just to get a little bit more nutrients. So I just used, like I said, the small side of the cheese grater. Oop, slippery little something. There it is. As long as you keep your fingers pretty flat on there, it's not going to cut you. If you go down with your fingernails, yeah, it might pull your fingernail off. But as long as you got a little bit of a flat space for where you're pushing it, there you go. There's our garlic. Next step, our green onions. I've rinsed them off. Cut the ends off. Cut it in half so you have a, cut them at an angle. Give it some look.
And again, this is more for topping our dish at the end,
Right,
like
this
with
is
a garnish.
This is going to be our garnish. Okay, our green onions. And the cilantro, you just pull off a couple sprigs. It's kind of, I got a little warm here, but just a couple sprigs for the topping. So that's all our vegetables and everything that's ready. Want to stop here and we'll turn around and we'll cook it up.
All right.
Okay.
See you at the stove.
Okay. Okay, everyone, let's cook our tofu scramble. First thing I'm going to do is I had my pot or my pan nice and hot. I'm going to put in my vegetable broth. Still not very hot, so we'll turn this up to about a medium high. Oh, there we come. I'm going to add my red bell pepper and my red onion. Stir this up a little bit. Oop, there's some more. We're going to saute this for 2, 3, 4 minutes. It depends on your stove, how hot you got it. I think we need to turn this up a little bit more.
And then I think you're going to want to turn it down because we don't want to
Right.
have those pans on too high of a heat.
Right, I got it a little bit medium high right now.
Now, some people might decide that they'd like to just start with the onions and do like what we call maybe a dry saute and caramelize it. But we're happy doing it this way for our tofu scramble.
Sure, and like we said before, you can use a yellow onion on this. You can use a yellow bell pepper versus the red one. The green would have a real different taste. I've never tried a green actually. So let's pause for a second, let this saute for a minute or two, and then we'll come back.
Okay.
Okay, it's been cooking enough down where my onions are starting to get limp. Now I'm going to add my garlic.
Your fresh garlic.
Fresh garlic. And I do still have it at a medium high. I don't want to lose my heat. Next thing I'll do is drop in my mushrooms. And my zucchini. We're going to cook this down a little bit. We're going to mix it up. Look at the colors already.
And now, of course, the mushrooms will release a little bit of liquid. And, you know, for those who are cooking, if you find that things seem to start sticking, just put a little bit of extra veggie broth in.
Right.
Just do a little bit at a time. Wow, look at all that. That's why I love your tofu scramble, Georgie, because you put in so many vegetables, not just the tofu.
So, I've got all this together. We need to simmer this down to cook our mushrooms and our zucchini down a little bit. So let's go ahead and pause and we'll come back and I'll finish it up.
Okay.
Okay, everyone, you can see my mushrooms have started to cook down. You can see all the moisture I still got in there from all my vegetables. So everything's cooked down enough. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my vegetables out of here. I need the pot for something else. This is a one-pan meal.
Yeah, we don't have to clean a bunch of pots the way you do it.
Okay, I might need a little bit more vegetable broth. So I'm going to put some in here. I'll brown my tofu.
And of course, we're using vegetable broth rather than oil because we just don't want all those extra calories from the oil, first of all.
Yep. Actually, I wasn't going to brown my tofu. I was going to saute it in all of my seasonings that I mixed here earlier. Okay. Pour that right on in.
Just to remind folks, just 1 tablespoon of oil, even if it's olive oil, is 120 calories. It's like, why add that to our dish? This is so flavorful, you just don't need it. Our flavor comes from all the spices.
Look at that. That looks like
Yeah.
it smells. I'm going to simmer this for a couple of seconds just to get it in.
Then when you eat it later, maybe you throw some salsa on it, so then you even have more flavor.
This tofu soaks up the seasonings really well, the way we're doing it. Can you see the way it's bubbling? Okay, that doesn't take long. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and put our vegetables back in.
And this is how we make the dish truly healthy, 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 because we have all these phytonutrients from our plants. So many different kind of vitamins and all the fiber.
Next step is going to be putting in my kale. Usually I would let this simmer a little bit more, but I kind of cooked it a little bit longer in the beginning there. So here's our kale, chopped up, nice and fine. Then we're going to mix this up. Look at that. Now, like Denise said earlier, you can adjust the seasonings all you want. You can put more turmeric, less chili powder, no salt if you prefer that.
Some people even like putting nutritional yeast in. I know you don't really like it in this dish, but I know some people do enjoy that.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover this up, let it simmer a couple minutes just to break down the kale, get it steamed up a little bit. Then we're going to come back, I'm going to have it on a plate, and we're going to taste it. How is that?
Oh, can't wait.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, everyone, it's all cooked. Denise, you want to kind of check it out right here? Yum, yum, yum.
Look how colorful. Again, you know, we always teach, Eat the rainbow of plants because all that color is giving you healthy compounds, your antioxidants, and oh, this just looks beautiful, Georgie.
Okay, I'm going to plate it up two different ways, the way Denise likes it and the way I like to eat it. So we'll just go ahead and put a little bit of this on here. 30 seconds.
I usually like to have it with a little corn tortilla on the side.
Green onions.
And then I'll usually put some salsa on it as well. Here it comes.
Corn tortilla wrapped in a paper towel to keep it from getting hard.
And that is going to be
There's the way Denise likes it.
my plate.
And these are the type of corn tortillas we use.
Uh-huh.
I recently bought a tortilla press and I made my own corn tortillas the other day. They were really good. They were a little bit thicker than these, but I'm going to figure out a way to get them thinner, and I'm telling you that they were really tasty. And I just used masa harina and a little bit of water and maybe a little bit of salt, I think, and lime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's mine. Okay, whole wheat tortilla.
And the way Georgie makes it is actually a wonderful way if you need to leave your house and you want to have a great breakfast burrito or lunch burrito on the go. Just put all your tofu scramble in the burrito and fold it up, and you got a nice little package to take with you. Easy to eat.
Okay, you want to look at mine before I roll it? And you can make them thicker if you want.
And you put a little hot sauce in there or salsa?
No, I don't really care for salsa, but I will this time.
Well,
And then Denise likes salsa on hers.
okay, let's see how you're going to
So
fold
I just
that
take
up.
it, pull it over the top, pull it back, squeeze the end. Got a little bit overcooked. Voila.
All right.
Burrito.
And then
I'm
you,
going to take a bite of this because I'm really hungry. So we'll see here how it tastes. Yum. Cheers. It's a hit. I hope you enjoy it. It's pretty easy to make, pretty fast. The beans, if you want to make your homemade beans, use your Instant Pot, go for it. I just opened a can up today because we've been cooking, but I hope you like it. See you in a little bit.
okay, Georgie, good job.
Okay, everyone, I hope you enjoy my tofu scramble. If you make it, let me know in the comments that you enjoyed it or you didn't enjoy it. One way or the other, I hope you enjoyed it.
And you know, again, this is a great dish instead of eggs, you know, that traditional breakfast. And if you're not sure yet why eggs are not the best thing for your health, I'll suggest that you go to Dr. Greger's website, nutritionfacts.org. He has some great videos about eggs, and my favorite one is called something like, Why Aren't Eggs Healthy? And what he has is all this correspondence that he got from filing a Freedom of Information Act request, and he got all this commentary from the Egg Marketing Board to our government saying that the egg industry actually cannot advertise eggs as healthy. You might not really know that, and it's really a great thing to watch and really learn what our government is telling the egg industry they can do and they can't do in their advertising. So get rid of the eggs, you know, get rid of that animal protein and the cholesterol, and make tofu scramble with those vegetables, hit all those G-bombs, and your body will thank you. Okay, so until next time, everybody. Oh, I just want to say, and please, you know, give us a little like on the video and subscribe to us if you haven't done that. We always happy for you to do that.
Yes.
Until next time, I'm Denise.
I'm Georgie.
And we're the happy vegan couple. Go plant-based. Bye-bye.